Okay, all you Batman fans out there, you are listening to the Night of the Batman, and this is Jim Starlin, who had a little bit to do with Batman along the way. Have a good one.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Alex.
And you are listening to Night of the Batman. Okay, so we're about to review the Caped Crusaders. Is it Caped Crusaders?
Yes, it is.
Episode 1 by Bruce Timm. Do you want to tell your thoughts?
Are we gonna do a summary for this, or what do you think?
I mean, I can.
We can do like a brief one just to give people an idea of what's in the episode.
So you open up, this guy is like it looks like he's being interrogated, find out he's part of a crime organization, and he like works for the Penguin kills him. Then we go to a courtroom, we meet Barbara Gordon, who is a defense attorney.
Yeah, defense attorney, yeah.
And then,
she's defending this kid who fell in with the wrong crowd, basically, like a gang or something like that.
And Harvey Dent is the DA, obviously. We love Harvey.
Do we? In this one? Do we? Sorry.
I have a lot of opinions about some of the characterization and some of like the changes they've made of characters, but we're gonna get there. They're talking about the bat. They've heard about the bat. Oh, also there was an explosion scene, and Batman realized that there was like a string of explosions all tying back to this one person who happens to, be a criminal.
That he interrogates. He puts him over like a railway that's like elevated and everything. Standard Batman stuff. But anyway, keep going.
Then we see a party on a boat, and the Penguin's a girl, and she's singing. That's nice. She's flirting with some cops. It's a cop party. We meet Commissioner Gordon. He's chilling with Barbara. She's complaining about having to be there. Harvey Dent's there. Bruce shows up late. We meet two of the Penguin's sons.
Interesting new addition. Yeah.
I mean, they don't last long, so.
Yeah. It's like, okay, keep going. Sorry.
So the guy who Batman had held over the railing and like the criminal guy, says something to the Penguin, and basically gets her to believe that her son tipped him off, and that's why he's not dead. So she kills her youngest son in cold blood.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. It was interesting. She puts him in like a suitcase or something, and then just
kicks him.
Yeah, we find out later that like they're just like dumping the bodies underwater. Like it's like there's a moment later. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead, but like we see the bat submarine, and like at first like what are these little like things that are sticking up from the sand, and it's like how many people? Yeah, boxes of like dead bodies. Basically, because Iceberg Lounge in this is a boat. It's not like a club that's in Gotham, which is kind of I didn't. That was a kind of interesting.
I liked that.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. But yeah, anyway, keep going.
So turns out it's the other son. He, steals a boat, runs, goes to Barbara Gordon, and he's like, hey, take me to your dad. He's the only cop I know in Gotham who is not corrupt.
Yeah.
And the Penguin chases them. Batman saves them. They get to the precinct. I'm not going to lie, I kind of spaced out.
Yeah, they're talking, and then like the whole... Like they find out that there's a umbrella thing on top, like a comically big one on top of
it's a cannon.
The boat, yeah, it's a missile, but so we find out that's like Penguin's gonna blow up that place with like her son in there, and so like there's that moment Batman stops them. Obviously, like they get tipped off earlier. Bullock leaves a criminal like chained to the desk, basically.
Yeah, handcuffed to his desk.
Yeah, and so that was kind of interesting, and then it kind of keeps going from there. Like it kind of ends like on a cliffhanger.
Bit. I mean, like the Coast Guard surrounds the boat.
Yeah.
all the cops and everybody gets out of the precinct. The precinct gets blowed up, gets blown up and hit by a missile. And Barbara's sitting there talking to her dad. She's like, "Good luck." He's like, "No, we acted fast, and that's why, we made our own luck." She's like, "Oh, by the way, Batman's real." And he's like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, he saved me."
Do you want to say how he saved her? Like, it was actually really funny. It made us laugh.
So there were a bunch of guys standing there. So he, like, comes and he, like, whips his car, turns it sideways, and, like, runs into them and, like, knocks them back. 10 out of 10.
Like bowling pins. It was really funny.
Yeah, that might actually be my favorite scene from the entire first episode. Now, should we get into our opinions on some of, like, the choices with characterization?
Yes, and before I get into mine, I will say, because it's funny, a previous episodic thing that we reviewed, we mentioned Ben a lot, but I've been talking to the lead up to this, I've been talking to Ben about just some of the choices and just some of the stuff in here. Bruce Timm obviously helped create Batman the Animated Series, and there are a lot of elements here, the art style, the like retro feel, the kind of general vibe of it is very much animated series kind of thing, and we felt that there was some elements, and I feel like this now too, arbitrary changes, because this show is very similar to a lot of other Batman shows. There's not a lot different. Even the distant thing with Alfred, he calls Alfred Pennyworth in this, which I know you hated. You want to go into that really quick?
Well, that wasn't where I was going to start. I was going to start from the top. I have a long list of stuff that I don't like.
Okay, well, maybe I can just go through my critiques, and then, like, I'll give you the floor to go through yours, and we can kind of, go back and forth maybe. But, so, to continue, Harvey being kind of like a slimy dick in this is, like, not even original to this. Like, in Beware the Batman, they have a kind of similar characterization. There's so Barbara Gordon in this and Commissioner Gordon are both black in this, which has been, like, a thing before. Like, it's a thing in the
that
Batman.
Doesn't, like, no, I like that. Like, that doesn't bother me.
This isn't a complaint. I'm just saying, things that are similar from like, there's not enough different, and the things that are different that are original to this kind of seem arbitrary. At first I thought changing Penguin into a woman was kind of, like, just arbitrary and dumb, but the only thing I think is dumb is the Eswalda thing. I'm like, I don't like that.
Okay, so that was gonna be my first thing I was mentioning. I think it's so dumb. Like, if you want to have, like, a female villain, make a female villain. You do not need to take a, like, well-beloved villain and, like, gender swap them. I will say, I think the characterization of her kind of reminds me of, like, when we've seen the Penguin's mother before. Like, I don't know if you watched Gotham.
Yeah,
but,
I watched
like,
Gotham.
But you know what I mean? Where it's kind of like this, like, overlording over her son. Sort of, like, manipulative.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, that was, like, a parallel that I drew. I don't know. To be fair, in general, like, I don't like the Penguin, so I don't know if they could have presented the Penguin in a way that I would have appreciated the character.
He's not my favorite either, so that's fair.
I don't know.
He's kind of like, I don't know,
he's a generic mob boss. It's so overdone. Like, can you have an ounce of, like, creativity? Can you do something? Like, I don't know. To
be fair, the Penguin isn't the main villain in this. Like,
I know.
She is, like, a side villain in this. So, but I hear you. I think that I don't mind that as much, because I think that sometimes, like not that specifically, but, like, when they change, like we were talking earlier about, like, Commissioner Gordon in there, I don't mind when they race swap, because, like, when these characters were created, it was mostly, like, people would make, like, white characters and stuff, and that doesn't really fully reflect our world anymore. I feel like if Batman was created today, there probably would be, like, a more diverse cast.
And that's totally fair. I don't think it reflected the world then. Like, the problem, the problem is that, like, most things were created. I mean, we still live in a very, like, racially charged time, but it was created in a time where people were not, or let me phrase that, white people were not cognizant of the fact that we're not the center of the world.
Yeah.
Like,
some people still don't know that, but anyway, that's a whole nother podcast.
yeah. So, all right. So what else were you going to talk about?
So I was gonna say that I don't know. It just this feels too much like the animated series, and I know like Bruce Timm had said in promotional stuff that he wanted this to basically do stuff that he couldn't do in the animated series. He was gonna do here. My problem with that is that like we only get so many Batman animated like big prestige format like animated shows like this every now and then. The last one that we had that was like coming out on a consistent basis was Beware the Batman, and that's crazy because that's been so many years ago, and we finally have a new one. And I'm not saying that this is bad because I've only seen the first episode, so I just think it's not like me and Ben. What we kind of came back to is it's not different enough, and I don't. At first, I thought maybe it's just because we're fans and we're too into this, but it's just has some elements that are kind of interesting, but I don't know how else to say this. I kind of wish that someone else was show running this because I feel like we've seen Bruce Timm's vision of what. I mean, he's got Ed Brubaker working on this too, but we've seen his vision of what like his Batman is, and this just felt like you know, like a remixed version of what we've seen before. But
Yeah.
go ahead anyway. That's my negatives for now.
So I've talked about the Penguin. I don't like. I don't like it. I don't like it. Also, I tend to just be really resistant to change in general. So I have to.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, the cats are messing with
It's
something.
okay. Keep going.
So I have to be like convinced. And I have to be sold on stuff for me to be like behind it. Yeah, so like I don't like that. My first complaint, and we reviewed the trailer, and I said this: I hate that they aged Barbara Gordon up. I hate that they aged Barbara Gordon up. I don't like when they do stuff like that inherently changes the power balances and dynamics within relationships. By aging her up, we're never gonna get Batgirl, and if we do, it's not going to be like a true mentorship because her and Bruce at that point would be on an equal playing field. She's like an established lawyer, so she's obviously like a peer to Bruce and to Harvey. I don't like when they make Harvey a dick. I do not like that. I do not like that characterization of him like before he's Two-Faced because it makes his fall less tragic.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing.
I think that it degrades him becoming a villain. Like, it's more upsetting when you have a person you like and all of these bad circumstances happen to like characters and then it changes them. Like, it's more upsetting. So if you already have an unlikable character and they become a villain, you don't care.
Yeah, you don't
there
care.
are no stakes. Like, so I hate that. Like, flat out, Harvey should have been more likable.
And he's just a douche in this episode.
Barbara should have been like a high schooler.
You could even I'll meet them halfway. Because I don't hate like out of everyone, I like the Gordons. I think the most out of this. I think that they came across the strongest. But I will say, like, I'll meet you halfway with this. If they de-aged her a bit to where maybe she's just like a high schooler that's like interning with like the law
or
lawyers
a freshman in college.
Yeah, or something where she's just new to it. Like I hear you. Like I understand. But anyway, keep going.
I will say, on that note, I do like the way that they played off the relationship between Commissioner Gordon and Barbara.
That was a nice moment.
Every moment that they were on the screen together was actually like entertaining. I have no interest in watching the rest of the series. I did not enjoy this episode. Like, I'm so sorry. It was so boring. I could think about 10 different things I would rather be doing to like occupy my time than watching this.
You're doing one of those things. You were looking at your phone while we were doing that.
It was boring.
Yeah,
it was
I know.
so boring.
I could kind of tell. I was like, yeah, she's not really into this. Go ahead.
It wasn't visually appealing to me either.
That's fair.
Like, it wasn't even like that it was like monochromatic, but like there was no variation in lighting really. Every scene sort of looked the same. there wasn't enough to capture my attention.
I'm not gonna say
it was all shades of gray.
I'm not gonna say that it looks cheap because it doesn't, but and I'm gonna stop bringing up X-Men '97, but like, and I was talking to kind of Ben about this too, and he was saying that by the time that they released this or were done with it, X-Men '97 already come out and done what it did. But I feel like in a post X-Men '97 world, you have to hit it out of the park. Like, you can't just do this thing where it's like, oh, this is good. Like, you have to, like if you're competing, you have to make it as good.
I didn't even watch all of X-Men 97, but when I was in the living room while you were watching X-Men 97, my eyes were glued to the screen. Like, I sobbed. I cried. Granted, my favorite character died, but, like, I cried over X-Men 97.
Remember it.
Oh, my God. Gambit.
Yeah.
My
Anyway.
man. Sorry. But, like, I think that when you have shows that have come out recently that are so hyper visually appealing, like X-Men 97, it's colorful at times, it's dark at times, like it
varies.
It changes to match the mood. Same thing with shows like, to bring up what we talked about on the last episode, like Has Been. Like, the aesthetics of it, like, changes to match the mood.
I hope you guys are watching every episode, by the way. But yeah, anyway, keep going. Sorry.
I consume an abnormal amount of anime. Why are you laughing at me?
It's true. Keep going.
And so, like, watching, like, current releases, like, there is visual, like, it's more visually appealing than this show. Like, to me, I feel like everybody was either in gray, black, or blue. Oh God. And like, there's no shame in wearing black every day. I wear black every day. I work 2 jobs, and at my second job, it's customer service, and I had a kid tell me that he didn't think that I owned anything not black. There's no shame in wearing all black all the time, but they're not visually appealing outfits. It's business wear. It's boring. It's done. Like, I do not think Barbara Gordon is going to dress just in, like, a suit every day to go be a lawyer. She would wear something more visually appealing. And I know it's set in the past. It's supposed to be, like, a noir, and that might just be my gripe. Like, I am not the only piece of noir that I have ever genuinely enjoyed. Okay, actually, no, that's a lie. Because I really like the movie Double Indemnity. 10 out of 10.
I couldn't get into the book, but anyway, keep going.
The movie is so good. But I only really like noir if there's a lot of, like, femme fatales. Like, that just...
Well, I mean, like, Catwoman's coming up in the next episodes. Or,
yeah,
some point.
but her design sucks.
It's classic. Listen...
It's ugly!
If they're going retro, I'm like, I can look over certain things. Like, there is a lot of, like, speaking of the noir thing, there is, like, a lot of noir-y dialogue. There's a lot of, like, old-timey sayings in there, too.
I did actually like that. I liked the dialogue, and I liked the use... Oh, God, Bruce said something, and it made me want to giggle.
I don't remember what it was. I know he had that whole thing where he
I don't care about it's not a yacht party unless somebody falls off the boat.
Yeah, because he repeated that to 2 different people within, like, earshot of each other, which I'm just like... This Bruce, by the way, while I'm on it, is very much that kind of, like...
Frat boy.
Yeah, he tries to play off the very, like, oh, the only thing that's wrong, he says to Harvey, is that we both don't have drinks in our hands.
I
like
also
kind of
don't like that if Harvey is a dick like that, he should not be friends with Bruce. Because Bruce is supposed to be, yes, a billionaire playboy, but he's also not supposed to be characterized as, like, a bad person. Like, he shouldn't be an asshole, right? Like... Also, what I was going to say was that the only, like, piece of noir that I really, really like is The Postman Always Rings Twice. But that's just because, like, that is, like, a literary masterpiece. I mean, not, like, literary masterpiece like The Great Gatsby, but, like, it's good. It's good. It's good writing.
Yeah. The other thing I did like is, like, Batman's general look was cool. I'm still warming up to the voice, and that's only because...
R.I.P.
Yeah. It's because it's drawn like Kevin Conroy's Batman is, and that's just partly the art style, but also just because it's how, Bruce Timm draws that. But I'm trying to get used to that Batman, even though it's not a 1-for-1. It's really close to how Batman looks, and hearing another man's voice come out of it.
I thought he sounded similar.
No.
Yes, I couldn't tell a difference.
Well, I know you couldn't. That's why I'm saying, like, I know there's some different, distinct, like, differences with the voice. Like, that one's much more, like, deep. And, like that, the guy that we listened to today on there, that's kind of his voice. But, yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just like, I couldn't really tell much of a difference. I thought that he did a decent impression if he was trying to impersonate,
Oh, he wasn't. Like, it's supposed to be its own thing, and that's almost the frustrating part of it. It's like it looks so similar to like past, like stuff that we've seen, like the Bruce Timm universe and everything. It looks too close to like what we've seen before, even though the character designs are different. It just
the universe looks the same.
Yeah, it doesn't feel different enough, and so it's not as exciting for me. That's my biggest takeaway.
I agree, and I also think that if you are not already a Batman fan, it's not going to be a story that is going to make you want to pay attention.
Yeah, it's a little slow.
There's better content that's old, and in defense of the show, I have a lot of what would be considered bad takes around Batman. Okay, like I like Adam West Batman. My favorite Batman movie is Batman and Robin. My favorite Batman is George Clooney. I am aware people hate stuff like that. I like campy Batman. I like color, and I like stuff that is just like happy and low stakes.
It's getting reappraised now, where people are giving different versions of Batman a chance. So Batman and Robin is it's so boring to be like, oh, the movie sucks. It's like everybody says that. It's like there were some good moments to it, and like
I remember
this is a safe space. Like you're amongst friends.
I remember a time when you would give me such a hard time about liking Batman and Robin.
People grow and change.
You
over
literally
time.
told me once, you're like, yeah, I'm never watching that with you. I hate that movie, and I'm like, what's it like to have a bad opinion?
People grow and change over time, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah, like I'm aware that a lot of my takes on Batman are very counter to the general consensus.
That's fine. That's why you're on the show. It's because your opinions are different. It makes it interesting.
I'm a contrarian. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of how to articulate what I want to say.
Okay.
I think that superhero media in general is meant to be happy and provide hope, and I think that when people do superhero media, Batman included, Superman included, in a way that is dark and nihilistic, it strips away from the very foundation of what superhero media should be, and it turns it into something dark and gritty and edgy just for the sake of being dark and gritty and edgy. And there is already media that is made to be dark and gritty and edgy, and you do not need to take something that is intended to be, like hopeful and light and make it that way. And if you're going to do that, there are better ways than just making all the characters doom and gloom. You can make something gritty and edgy and it still be fun. I.e. Deadpool. Go watch Deadpool and Wolverine. You'll see my favorite character.
Hey, spoilers, guys, spoilers.
They don't know who my favorite character is. They don't know who I'm talking about.
Anyway, I might have to put a disclaimer at the beginning of this, but yeah, so...
Well, how are they going to know who I'm talking about?
We're going to change the subject, and we're going to talk about, like, final thoughts, so...
Final thoughts is I don't want to watch the rest of it. Please don't make me watch the rest of it. I would rather go play in traffic.
I can always ask. So if I watch it and I decide that I want to talk more about it, I'll either do a solo episode or I'll try to get someone else on and we can talk about it.
If you watch the rest of it and you want to review it, I will watch the rest of it. But like, it's probably not going to be very glowy. Like, oh my god, I love this reviews.
That's fine. It's more fun when we have a difference of opinion. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up here, unless you had anything else you wanted to say before we did that.
No, I'm good. I do want to recommend something when we finally finish The Court of Owls. I want to do,
Go ahead.
Dang it, we already talked about it.
Batman the Cult?
No. We want to do something before that. It was a Nightwing thing.
Oh, the Tom Taylor, I think it's Tom Taylor. Anyway, we'll talk about that off.
Yeah, we'll probably divulge from Batman for a little bit to give my little Nightwing heart a break and let me fangirl over Dick Grayson.
Yeah, we can read one of the arcs of, I think it's Tom Taylor. Anyway, we'll figure that out later. But yeah, so we'll be doing some Blood, what's it called? Bloodhaven. I swear I'm a Batman fan. We're gonna go take a detour to Bloodhaven at some point so that we can see what Nightwing's up to. But yeah, so we will come up
with an outro eventually.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Oh no, we were gonna do Dick Grayson as Batman. That's what we were gonna do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I thought you'd already stopped recording. I was just talking to you as my husband.
Well, bye for real.
Bye.